As they brought up their 8 children in the unforgiving light of reality television, Jon and Kate Gosselin became famous. However, an increasing shadow lurked beneath the chore lists and artificial grins. Jon Gosselin is finally speaking out, years after his painful breakup with Kate, revealing secrets about their children and the mental toll that fame takes. The disclosures are more upsetting than anybody anticipated, ranging from accusations of abuse to complete alienation. And they bring up a disturbing inquiry. Can you tell me what went down at the Gosselin house? 8 seasons of Jon and Kate, the rise to power. In the early 2000s, before social media made everyone famous, the United States was enthralled with an ordinary Pennsylvania suburban couple. They weren't actors, Jon and Kate Gosselin. I wouldn't call them musicians. They didn't hold any sway. Even more intriguing, though, was the fact that they possessed a veritable army of youngsters. Kate stunned the world when she announced the delivery of sextuplets 4 years after giving birth to twins in 2000. Not long after a family of 10 became famous, the press took note. Their 2005 show, Surviving Sextuplets and Twins, aired on the Discovery Health Channel. There will be a sequel because the special was so popular. Jon and Kate +8, one of TLC's most famous and divisive reality shows, was then approved in 2007. The 8 little children and the accompanying mayhem captivated viewers right away. As viewers watched, the couple struggled and often failed to maintain their relationship. While Jon packed lunches for the kids' school, Kate coordinated their attire, and the marriage tried to stay together. The show gave viewers an almost voyeuristic look into a dysfunctional family that was always on the edge of collapse but managed to stay afloat. Something more, though, was going on behind all that love and sweetness. A business was being started by the family. Brand deals started coming in. Deals on books, speeches, and a new home. As a type of supermom figure, Kate even started to feature on magazine covers. Their chemistry appeared increasingly distant and performative on camera as their fame grew. Jon seemed to be becoming more and more distant. Kate, even more assertive. But it remains. No one at TLC wanted to get in the way of the ratings behemoth that was Jon and Kate +8. Surface fissures. The tightly scripted story held attention for some time. Matriarch Kate was the epitome of order and no-nonsense. The silly, slightly overwhelmed dad was Jon. Cute and approachable, the kids were. However, the flaws became immediately apparent, particularly to those viewers who were closely observing. Many others in parenting groups and online forums talked about how severe Kate was. In front of the kids, she frequently yelled at Jon or made fun of him. As far as her online following was concerned, she was either a strict mother attempting to keep the peace or something more controlling, bordering on abusive. There was a marked change in the on-screen chemistry between the two by 2008. Their displays of affection were infrequent. Talks became more businesslike. Jon seems unconcerned, not always paying attention when filming. On the flip side, Kate improved and became more prepared for performances. There were rumblings that she started to see the show as her own personal brand, with Jon playing the role of an accessory. Pictures taken by the paparazzi followed. At a pub in Reading, Pennsylvania, in early 2009, Jon was photographed having a good time with women of college age. Kate and the children would not be there. False accusations of adultery surfaced. According to the tabloids, he was an irresponsible father who was desperate to regain his youth. At the same time, Kate was portrayed as the injured wife who is fighting to protect her family and her empire. What the press was unaware of back then, though, was this. Their marriage had been quietly dissolving for months, and they had been living apart during that time. By the end of season 4, they were merely getting along, as Jon revealed in subsequent interviews. He said that TLC knew about the breakup, but encouraged them to pretend for the sake of viewers and marketers. Industry insiders speculate that TLC was making too much money to openly allow the fairy tale to collapse. Allegedly, the network encouraged the pair to hold off on announcing their split until after important episodes had already aired. It seemed like stepping into a dream when they announced their divorce in a June 2009 show. Instead of avoiding the cameras, Kate continued to move forward. Jon was removed from the show's title and later its content when TLC relaunched it as Kate+8. It was more than a rebranding, it was a complete removal. Both Kate and the computer they had created together betrayed Jon, he said. He said that Kate had taken over the storyline and excluded him from making decisions, the show, and, in the end, his children's lives. A breakup wasn't all this was. On national television, in front of millions of people, a family's discord began. The turbulent split. The news broke on June 22, 2009, during an edition of Jon and Kate+8 that was supposed to be a regular family show. However, the family wasn't recording a child's birthday or a trip to the store for back-to-school supplies this time. Jon and Kate sat rigidly across the couch from each other, with pillows separating them and months of stillness between them. Hatred and legal wrangling. Jon casually stated, "Kate and I have decided to separate," while avoiding eye contact with the camera. Kate continued, visibly repressing her emotions, that it's not healthy for the kids when we argue in front of them. While onlookers were taken aback, the couple's inner circle had known for some time that the announcement was long overdue and that airing it on national television was not an accident. Some have speculated that the producers deliberately scheduled the divorce episode to air during a highly rated episode of the season. Nobody knows if it was Kate's decision, TLC's decision, or a joint effort by the two. There was an instant impact, though. The tabloids set up camp outside their house in Wernersville, Pennsylvania, within a few days. Concerned parties for the well-being of children raised ethical concerns over airing a family breakdown involving 8 children. Even though they were once unified by the chaos, Jon and Kate have since become fierce rivals. Prisoners fight in a public conflict. The dissolution, which was finalized in December 2009, was not just a legal one. A full-scale custody battle sprang out. Jon and Kate were ordered to share custody of their 8 children at the time, although Kate continued to live with them most of the time. Claiming that Kate dominated the legal process with her wealth and TLC connections, Jon stated that he was systematically driven out of their lives. He retaliated forcefully and in public. In 2010, Jon made an appearance on several talk shows and gossip portals to voice his frustrations, embarking on a media tour. He wanted to stop the production of Kate+8, so he filed for a court injunction, accusing Kate of emotionally exploiting their children for fame. This is not a company of actors. According to what Jon said on Larry King Live, these are kids. Filming is taking place when they're dealing with a personal crisis. That is not amusement. Extortion is what that is. However, Kate remained steadfast, asserting that the program ensured financial security for both herself and the children. Her solicitors leveled charges of recklessness and instability against Jon. He refused to co-parent, according to her. It was control that he sought. As the tension reached a boiling point, Kate went to the police and accused Jon of kidnapping while he was away from the kids for a long time. The event revealed how poisonous and aggressive their dynamic had grown, even though no charges were ever brought. Wealth, authority, and reputation. The fight revolved about who would have authority of the children, the story, and the finances. Branding was an area where Kate really shined. Her media-friendly image, as a working single mother gracefully navigating turbulence, persisted even after the divorce. She was a 2010 Dancing with the Stars contestant, author of numerous parenting books, and guest on several daytime talk shows. Contrarily, Jon appeared to go into a tailspin. He went clubbing, dated younger women, and got many tattoos, as seen in paparazzi images. He was portrayed as the careless one, the one who became too arrogant due to his success. Jon, however, insisted afterwards that this public humiliation had been staged. He said that TLC was involved in funding Kate's legal representation and public relations efforts, all while he was speaking out and TLC was suing him for breach of contract. He compared it to a David versus Goliath battle. With no legal recourse and silenced by non-disclosure agreements, he was the banished patriarch. Industry sources feel that Kate had a huge advantage because to her affiliation with TLC, she was supported by attorneys, producers, and a media conglomerate worth millions of dollars. The media painted Jon as unstable, and he was the target of paparazzi in tabloids. Years later, Jon revealed something particularly damning. He made zero money from the show following the separation. The whole time, Kate and the kids were busy making a killing. Even more outrageous, he claimed that Kate had used the children's trust funds to pay for her legal defense, an accusation that caused a brief surge of public outcry, but would never lead to formal charges. The kids caught in the middle of the gunfire. It became apparent that their children, not their reputations, were the true victims as the battle between Jon and Kate unfolded in courtrooms, tabloids, and on talk show couches. In the middle of all the mayhem were 8 young children. They hadn't specifically sought fame. Maddie and Jon Gosselin, together with their 6 siblings Colin, Hannah, Joel, Leah, Alexis, and Aidan, were born into a media frenzy and spent their childhoods with production schedules dictating their milestones and boom mics hung over their cribs. Millions of people saw their first steps, birthdays, punishments, and even sobbing fits. Even after the news of the divorce broke, the cameras continued to record. Despite Kate's assurances that filming would only resume when the kids requested it, critics and experts voiced concerns about the potential long-term impacts of growing up on reality TV, particularly in such a controversial setting. The memories that stick with the kids are the ones that are still unclear and probably will be for a long time. Could camera crews and family arguments have an impact on their formative years? In their eyes, where does love end and control begin? And which version of events will they recount when they are prepared to talk, assuming they ever are? Cara and Maddie have both given delicately worded glances into their experiences in recent years. In 2023, Maddie commented on TikTok about how she and her siblings weren't obligated to forgive someone simply because they were a parent, suggesting that her connection with her father was difficult. The remarks make it sound like the division is more than just a coincidence.